Hello. Well, I have just sat through an entire episode that's over 15 minutes of the Jimmy Dore show. Yes, the lizard man himself, who's giving his opinions about the London poisonings. So I hope you appreciate the torture I've been going through to make this video. In the event that you haven't heard about it, I shall enlighten you. Oh, and before that, I want to point out to you guys, at present lucky enough to be at a distance from these islands, don't worry, Putin will get round to you sooner or later. So, to business. On March the 4th, a British citizen, formerly a Russian, Sergei Skripal, and his daughter were found slumped unconscious on a park bench. According to Reuters, this is what happened. At 4:15, there we go. At 4:15 p.m. On March the 4th, Wiltshire police got a call from a member of the public about two people who were acting strangely. Police found Skripal, 66, and Yulia, 33, unconscious on a bench outside the Malting shopping centre in Salisbury. The pair had no visible injuries and were taken to Salisbury District Hospital, where they are in critical condition. Counter-terrorism police took control of the investigation on March the 6th. On Monday, Prime Minister Theresa May said the couple had been poisoned with a military-grade nerve agent and it was highly likely that Russia was responsible. It was pretty soon established that they'd been poisoned by a nerve agent called Novichok. Doesn't that sound like something nice? Novichok, like a new type of candy. But this stuff is manufactured only in Russia. It also has a habit of spreading itself about. The policeman, Detective Sergeant Bailey, who went to help them, ended up almost as ill and at the time of this recording is still in hospital. So here we have a situation where the evidence has slammed down with all the weight of Trigglypuff that a foreign government sent murderers into this country to dispatch people they don't like. And Lizard Man says the following.
Why does everyone care if a Russian spy got killed? That's my first question. Who cares?
Well, Mr. Dork, I care. This was an attack on British soil against a British citizen by a foreign power who obviously wanted to make a point. This is the description of the poison involved by one of the people who was party to making this venomous brew. Let's see. The Russian whistleblower who exposed the country's secret chemical weapons program has revealed the horrific torturous effect of the Novichok nerve agents on their victims. Asked how the nerve agent works, he added, "It's for paralysing people. It causes you convulsions and you can't breathe, and after that you die if you get enough of a dose of it. It's real torture. It's impossible to imagine. Even in low doses, the pain can go on for weeks. You cannot imagine the horror. It's so bad." The Novichok family of nerve agents were secretly developed over 2 decades at a research facility 50 miles outside the Russian capital. All right, that should be good enough for anybody to determine at least the provenance of this poison. Some years ago, a Russian refugee called Alexander Litvinenko was poisoned with radioactive plutonium in this city. As a matter of fact, he lived fairly close to me in North London. There's a big supermarket in our area where we could have crossed paths. Damn sure I'd be concerned about nerve agents and radioactivity on my patch, even if I wasn't concerned about the sadism involved in the use of these materials. Notice, this wasn't a bullet to the head, not a quick whack with a sand-filled sock in a dark alley somewhere, not even a dose of arsenic or rat poison or something like that. No, the chosen modus operandi involved highly specific, high-tech poisons that ensure knowledge of the provenance for the investigators and a lingering and painful death for the victims. Oh, and a complete disregard for bystanders who might get caught in the operation. This is my bloody country, you half-assed dork. I object most strongly to foreign goons conducting their battles on my streets. I bloody care, you bet. And when Jeremy Corbyn gives a mealy-mouthed response, tiptoeing around the fact and saying nothing of any substance, Mr. Komodo says this.
He's so reasonable, it makes me uncomfortable.
It does. Well, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, Steph.
Listen, you lizard-brained ninny. The poison has been made only in Russia. It was really, really easy to track down, even for the intellectually challenged chickens in our semi-comatose police force over here, and you called Corbyn statesmanlike for skirting around that.
So do you see that there's nothing you can ever do on the left that's going to stop red smearing?
And talking about smearing, this is another piece of Dobby's statesmanship.
We need to expose the flows of ill-gotten cash between the Russian state and billionaires who become stupendously rich by looting their own country and subsequently using London to protect their wealth.
So we shouldn't worry about vicious poisons being released on our streets. We should be much more worried about...
What it tells me is that it's propaganda. It's the establishment trying to marginalize progressives.
As Dobby says, we should hold fire on blaming Russia, even with the provenance of the poison directly in our faces. Oh, well, not directly in our faces, obviously. But we should worry about the morality of offering Russian refugees sanctuary in this country if they're rich. Yes, that's very statesmanlike. Oh, by the way, news has just broken about yet another Russian, Nikolai Glushkov, found dead on Monday. It looks like the Russians must have run out of Novichok because in this case, Glushkov has been strangled. According to the Daily Mirror, the police say the death is being treated as suspicious.